Welcome to FR Racing's Garage Talk Live Race Day. I'm DJ Fluck.
I'm Erik Richardson.
And yeah, so we're having a bit of problems getting set up. We haven't done one of these in like a year. Is that about right? Year?
Been a little bit.
Actually, yeah, it
With the
was.
last Australia.
It was the last Australia because I told you the other day when I was making the graphic to post to social media to announce this, it already said, join us to watch the Australian Grand Prix. I'm like, oh, I just have to change the date and export it. So it's been a while.
So it might be a little rusty, and we'll see how it goes.
And I got
We've already had some on-track drama.
I got a new laptop, and I thought I had it all checked out and set up. And of course, when we were testing, it was trying to like stack the zoom window here instead of put it side by side, and um, it took us a couple minutes, but we lucked out because the formation lap was scrapped.
And we're going to have 19 cars in this race.
Yeah.
And formation lap is underway.
So it's
big difference here. We had a nice dry qualifying session. They've been dry for practices, and then they've just gotten all sorts of rain that led to the cancellation of the supercars and also the F2 race.
the supercars. So Isaac Hajar, not the debut he was looking for.
Yeah, trying to get some heat and tires on formation lap, and it kicked on him and put him into a tire wall.
Just a little bit more. Okay. So we're watching along. We give our commentary. We've got the chat open. We've got our Discord open. If you want to make any comments in there, Erik, are you packing anything?
Yeah, it's late, but I got something to keep my entertainment, especially if there's plenty of red flags. Picked up the Red Bull F1 Lego today.
Yeah.
Figured, you know what? Why not? We'll build something during this.
Yeah, and it's an F1 car, so why not? So I
add to my Red Bull collection and somewhere up here.
So I still had my soft cooler out from Phoenix Raceway last weekend, so I've got the soft cooler here.
Oh, there you go.
And I put my waters, got a beer in here. Got the Jepson's Malort if it comes down to it. Got
Dude, you're lucky. It's 9 o'clock for you, and it's already midnight for me.
I got a orange cream Coca-Cola to mix the on the bed. Got the bag, the purple bag of Crown Royal in here. So, ooh, I'm running low on that. I don't need to.
Crown Royal, let's help this guy out.
All right. So I got some waters in here to refill. So hopefully.
All right. So what do we think happens here? Lando's on the pole. Does he stay there for once?
What's his? Yeah, what's his stat?
McLaren take themselves out on lap one?
Yeah, doesn't he typically bottle it on the first lap?
Yeah, he usually ends up second, third.
My plastic cup here.
The two best friends are starting next to each other too, Max and George.
Oh, yeah.
They're in P3, P4. You got Lewis Hamilton's debut in the Ferrari.
You got Alex Albon starting 6th.
Yeah, how about Williams? Both cars making it.
Yuki starting 5th. Yuki drove mad yesterday, and you can tell.
Yeah, he did. All right, here we go. And lights out.
All right.
Well, here comes Max already.
Oh, you might be ahead of me. Got a lot of spray. So I always have to look towards the back to see who overshoots the turn, but it looks like nobody.
Well, looks like everybody's gotten through. Oh, Max has already come into P2.
you see?
Everybody's staying on track.
They're asking questions, like the dumbest questions they could think of, and they're approaching the drivers, and then they approached Crofty and asked him, "Do you think Travis Kelsey and Taylor Swift will make it through the year together?" And he goes, "Yeah, I hope so."
Oh,
Oh,
oh yeah, he's gonna be done. Rookie number 2 is out of this race before
the
one
one who
lap
only
has been
as a
completed.
6 race contract, yeah.
Safety car.
Down go the rookies.
Oh man,
We didn't even get through lap 1, did we?
no. I think what 6, 7, somewhere in there.
Oh, I guess I'm gonna need to make a drink here.
Make a game here. Shot him alert for every driver that exits his race tonight.
As he's staring off, contemplating his future, will he have? Will he make a? We're now going to grade how quickly rookies get fired in the unit of the DeVries. Will he make it 1 DeVries before he gets fired? How many did he make it? Was it like 9 races before they
Yeah, it
sacked
wasn't. Yeah, something like that. This is kind of crazy. If you're looking at the standings right now, 14th rookie, 15th rookie, 16th Esteban Ocon, 17th you have Liam Lawson, 18th Ollie Behrman, then 19 and 20 are already out of the race. And we effectively haven't even started yet.
I thought I saw Ollie Berman started in the pits, but
He
then
did.
he would have been out for the first.
Oh, Carlos Sainz is in the wall.
Oh, I was about to say, yeah, I see on the scoring he's 18th. I'm like, what happened to Carlos Sainz? I'm okay.
The car is not.
And the Williams mechanics are like, I thought we were going to not have a repeat of the last several years. All right, we're going hard liquor. This is going to be a long.
Oh, he just.
What is going on?
Ew. He's online. He just gassed a little and spun it to the wall.
All right, we're gonna.
You know, they were doing their warm-up laps, and a lot of them were out on wets. I wonder if they made a change to intermediates too quick.
Well,
and now Williams is like, seriously, we do not want to do this again.
They 3 off track in turn 1. Well, not quite, but. Oh, we're gonna make myself a nice little cocktail here. Got my little portable bar kit.
You see in one of the chats, chug a beer for each rookie that DNFs and double for Carlos Sainz. Man, we'd be torched by lap 5 at this rate.
We are not going to make it.
Man, 3 cars out already. We're on lap 2, 4 beers.
Oh, dear Lord. Yeah, poor Williams. It's like this was looking great for them, and then I can't get the timing. Like the timing and scoring will not auto update on my app. There. Like it wants to play like the track audio on the timing and scoring app. Well, we have lost 3 already.
Reports from Leclerc that the track is drying quickly, but there should be rain incoming.
All right, so Leclerc's moved up to 5th. Albon falls to 7th. Hamilton's still in 8th. Pierre Gasly is 9th. The Aston Martin boys are 10th and 11th. Nico is moved to 12th.
So at some point tonight, we may get to watch some racing.
Or we'll get to do some drinking, and you'll get to build a Lego.
Yeah, I would have pulled the alcohol, but I need to be at least somewhat functional. So yeah, I think I showed DJ right before we got on. I picked up the Red Bull Lego for the race today. I guess it's pretty good pickup since, well,
Garrett, did they forget to salt the track before the start?
20 minutes and we haven't even raced a lap yet.
This is the Australian Grand Prix. I should have worn my bluey shirt.
Let's see, where do I need to go for the pick up the chat? YouTube?
Yeah. I have a little plug-in for Restream, so I can. If anybody comments on anything, I can see.
You're cheating right there.
Yeah, well, it's tied into OBS, so I'm watching that over in the corner here. I mean, there is a Discord channel called Garage Talk Live in our Discord that, in the top of our broadcast. This is what it looks like driving around Nashville when we get half an inch of snow. So, all right. So, speaking of bad driving, so 2 weeks in a row, we were on the highway heading home. Man,
they just kicked.
Yeah. Oh, jeez.
The look of dejection from the pit crew.
It's like, not this again.
He's like, oh, that's my job.
He's like,
I'm tired of that.
Can't we have one race where we don't have to rebuild a car? So 2 weekends in a row. Last weekend coming home from the race. This weekend we went out to the store. We're on the highway coming home. Same exit. We witnessed a car crash each 2 weekends in a row now.
Oh.
And it's an area where there's a lot of construction. They're expanding the highway. They're adding an extra lane, so it's kind of narrow through there. And traffic tends to, for whatever reason, come to a stop all the time. And somebody tried to change lanes last week coming home from the race and just like doored the car next to him. And then this week they didn't, it was just everybody abruptly slowed down and somebody didn't slow down fast enough and just plowed right into the back of a car. Like whoops. Like two weeks in a row. Literally the exact same spot on the highway. We witnessed 2 wrecks.
Yeah, that's fine. We were pushing 50-some degrees today, and we're expecting snow tomorrow. I think like 3 to 5 inches.
Oh, that sounds lovely. We had like a little bit of rain on Friday, a little bit overnight.
Yeah, those are gonna get a little slippery. Coming over race radio saying that put a tire on the white lines and lost it.
Oh. And then they show him doing it on the show. Kimi Antonelli talking about putting a tire on the white line and almost losing it, and then he almost does it again. Well, I hope everybody's enjoying the Australian parade.
Yeah, this kind of reminds me of the IndyCar Iowa race last year.
It was a little bit faster.
A little faster pace, but just about the same action.
And Ollie Berman's like, at least I'm still in it.
So there were 5. Now there are 3. Will all of them, or will the other 3 at least finish this race?
I mean, technically Liam is still. Oh, we got a tire change.
I'd almost would consider him a rookie.
I think so too. I mean, he's had a handful of experience, but he hasn't.
He's had some races, but it's not
full season.
And they've been hit and miss races.
Are we going intermediates? That, yep, intermediates for Liam Lawson.
So is Kick going to actually be better than the Haas this year?
Certainly looks that way.
It's kind of sad that the bottom nine right now, maybe with the exception of Science, is about what I expected to see.
Yeah. So, Liam Lawson, he goes on this podcast regularly, and he was the one who shared the story about the driver dinner last year when it was right after the George and Max feud began. And George was the last one to show up, so everybody purposely, the only open chair left was right next to Max. And so George shows up late, and the only chair is next to Max, and he picked up the chair and he moved it over to another part of the table and just like crammed into the corner so he wouldn't have to sit next to
Yep.
Max.
So they're looking radar maybe clear for next half hour.
Hey, Lando didn't give up the lead on the opening lap. Technicalities.
Well, we'll see if he can get a jump or if Max is going to be able to shadow him. I think we got to be close to going back green here. Because I think both cars are removed.
Pre-race, they were interviewing Zach Brown, and they were talking about how they did a green and blue tire test before the race during the warm-up laps. And he's like, "Yep, yeah, we were planning on doing a test of both." And because the only thing I don't know is which tire we chose. And the presenter was talking to him, goes, "Well, we can see." And pointed. He's like, "Oh, you know more than I do." See the stack of tires out there.
A little dicey there in the beginning.
Yes, it was. Ooh, that's how Max got by.
Yeah, I got to agree with that.
Agree with what part?
George is a baby. I really do. I feel like every race he's whining about something. Well, somebody raced me too hard.
It's funny too. There's like a
Dude, you're
video.
racing.
There's this like parody James Bond video that somebody made of George Russell, and it's just clips of him. He's like, Max jumped the start. It's just up.
He's like the 6-year-old tattletale.
Yeah, and it's just clips of him. The McLaren, outside the lines. It's.
Sometimes that's where Formula One reminds me of like men's professional soccer.
It's very theatrical.
They'll get slightly nudged and they go flying 10 yards down the field, writhing in pain. Then they see nobody who's paying attention to them. They're okay, I'm fine. Then a minute later, they're sprinting down the field like nothing ever happened. Like, really, you were just in like agonizing pain a minute ago.
One of my kids did that recently where it was just kind of a light bump and went down, grabbing the leg and screaming, crying, and everyone else just like, nah. There was not enough contact for that to be that bad.
It's almost turning to be the NBA now, too, if it's not already there. It'd be fun to watch like the 90s Bad Boys Pistons go up against any team in the NBA.
Oh, they would murder somebody.
Your audio is about half of what mine is.
It's because I keep pulling away. Yeah, hang on. How about now?
La flop, James. Such a diva.
Flop. Yeah, I was just kind of thinking, like, could you imagine, LeBron going up against, Bill Lambier and Isaiah. Bill Lambier would like clothesline people.
Oh man, what Dennis Rodman
Dennis
Garden.
Rodman, Isaiah Thomas. You know the
I was a
story.
fan of LeBron, but seeing stuff nowadays, it's like, dude, you don't even play basketball anymore.
The story of so Dennis Rodman, after his days at the Pistons, he went to the San Antonio Spurs for a while, and I think Greg Popovich was there. It was still like early in his tenure. So the reason he traded Dennis Rodman to the Bulls is because he figured he would destroy the locker room chemistry and destroy the Bulls dynasty. That's why he did it. And
Well, that
yeah,
backfired.
that
You
that
gave
backfired
him a
tremendously.
great defensive player.
Yeah, Dennis Rodman had arguably some of his best defensive years, and minus a few moments, kept himself largely out of trouble. I vaguely remember him kicking a photographer between the legs. Uh,
Yeah, he like fell over him. Oh, we're actually getting ready to go
here
here.
we go.
No, lap 7.
All right.
All right, let's see what's Norris gonna do to game the field here.
Max is like the master of these restarts, where he's just like, da, 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 go. All right, lap
Close
7.
enough.
Wasn't it supposed to be 58 laps originally?
Would they have lost a lap on that first formation lap?
Did they? Oh, that's what I thought.
I'm pretty sure that's what it would have been. Fastest lap, Ollie Behrman. I think that's gonna get beaten at some point here. 202.
Two oh two. 202. Oh man, they were running like 115 during qualification.
Yeah, what was it? 115.0 put him on pole.
V-Site Crash app Racing Bulls, very good. Like that.
Alonso, safety car infringement.
Noted. Yeah, you're like 5 seconds ahead of me. Yeah, I was looking through the presenters. They had their predictions of who would win the driver championship, who would win the constructor championship, and largely everybody went Lando and McLaren. There were a few exceptions in there. I think somebody had Ferrari. I think somebody had Max winning. Yeah, okay, so that 202 went down to a 136.
Yeah, that was gonna happen pretty quickly there.
Mattingly says that you need a ring light. You're giving very Sith vibes right now.
I mean,
it's just you gotta.
I do have.
You gotta do the.
It would make sense because I do have this with me.
Can't do it with the hat on. Gotta. And there go the headphones. Gotta do the rest of the broadcast like this. Just my young apprentice. Can imagine if somebody tuned in right now and saw that, they're like, okay,
What is going on?
What did I just tune into?
Just deck out the future broadcast office and
I mean, that's what I've done. You know, I've got like this is my office where I work during the day, and I've turned it into like the Dan Patrick show.
At some point I want to be able to have a space where I can do that, set up the random stuff and
Still have the gigantic Bud Ice penguin that you can kind of see behind me. Those that aren't aware, the Bud Ice penguin from the '90s, and I got that. I ordered that on eBay. I was like, I was always looking for that because I love those commercials in the '90s. They'd always play them during like hockey games, and I saw that on eBay, and I'm like, oh, that's cool. And then all of a sudden this package shows up, and I'm like, okay, that is a lot bigger than it looked in the on the eBay listing.
No, I'm actually going to be in Chicago here in a week. I'm going to a Blackhawks game, and I want to go to a bar and just go up and be like, I want a Chicago handshake.
Just get you some Malort.
And then just kind of play it off. Like, do you know what that is? Like, I've heard about it. I thought I'd give it a try. Not let on that I actually know what Malort is, and I've had it plenty.
I mean, I'm such a degenerate. I have two bottles of Malort. I have the bottle that I drink from, and then I have the community bottle that I share with people.
I think it'd just be fun to
That's
take a shot. They think I don't know what it is, and they're waiting to see the reaction of like, "Oh, that's so terrible," and like,
nothing
what's wrong
says
with
you have a
this?
problem when you have two bottles of a hard liquor, one for yourself and then one for everyone else.
But yeah, when I'm in Chicago, I'm having a Chicago handshake. I don't care.
So my kids wanted a pair of Crocs today. Eric, you saw I sent the picture to you. I'm gonna post this later.
That is like the most NASCAR thing possible.
Uh, and I remember seeing something about it, but today's the first time I've actually seen this, and it's like they had to do like the hat. So Crocs and NASCAR partnered to make a licensed NASCAR pair of Crocs. And it's exactly every stereotype of NASCAR you can imagine. And it's like they're half white and half camo. And they have like the little, on the Crocs you get the little gem, whatever they call them, the little, I forget what they call them, the little things you put in the shoe. And there's like a NASCAR logo and a flag, and then there's this like rolled up thing in the corner on one of the shoes. I'm like, what is that? And then somebody pulled one apart on one of the other pairs. I'm like, that's a koozie. It actually has a beer koozie wrapped up in the shoe.
Can you leave me alone?
Too much information.
Now, not that I want to see a crash happen, but it'd be almost funny and comedic if that tire goes down because it got too hot.
Would be very Ferrari like.
She's like, well, we told you.
Not much. Leclerc went from 7th to 5th. Max went up to 2nd. Piastri dropped to 3rd.
Tsunoda to 6th.
I mean, otherwise, there's changes in the bottom half, but most of it is because of the 3 that dropped out of the race. It's...
No, they opened up DRS.
They did.
Got a bit of dry lane forming, so...
Yeah, I see Piastri and Lawson just went DRS.
You're going to have to make sure that they get out of groove here. Otherwise, they'll cook those intermediates.
He's right. Leclerc is like a second and a half slower than the lead pack.
Still lapping 16 seconds slower than qualifying.
It's... Yeah, Lewis has been. You can see the frustration. Just this car is not to his liking.
I feel like everybody probably put in at least a little something for this first few races, but once they start to see how everything pans out, it'll be real interesting to see how the second quarter of the season goes.
Bring back the cringy Miami intros.
I'm gonna have to find a way to get to that race at some point.
Hey, we're gonna have it next season in iRacing probably.
Yeah, this is true.
General rain risk is increasing.
Yeah, let's see it just get wild out here.
Ollie Berman is almost 3 seconds slower than Lando Norris. Liam Lawson is almost 3 seconds to the dot slower than Lando right now.
The one thing I wish they could do with Formula One, it's great to see the cars, but I wish there was just more racing up and down the field.
I still think it was hilarious in the rookie roundtable, and they said, "Which one of you will score points first?" And one of them said, "For hopefully for his sake, Kimmy. He's got kind of an advantage over the rest of us." Oh man.
And he is currently running P13.
I don't know which. Let's see. Yeah, he just moved into 12th.
Now I'm starting to get this Red Bull Lego put together.
How's it coming so far? I
Sure.
completely forgot about that.
Oh, as I'm lighting up the Discord chat with.
Oh, I've been watching the YouTube chat. I haven't been watching Discord.
I accidentally put something on the keyboard and it just put like 20 rows of nothing. For some reason, this is the driver. I'm getting Liam Lawson vibes.
Yeah, they do this weird thing with these Legos, or they have in the past, where the Lego figure that they include is this like weird hybrid of the two drivers. And I have this. Let me see if I have it. I have this older Mercedes from when Valtteri Bottas was still there, and it's like can't really see it on the camera, but they gave him like Valtteri's like goatee, but Lewis's beard. In the Lego. it's, it's very. I mean, I guess that's one way to do it. Is the other thing too with that set I had from a few years ago. You could actually remove the 44 and put a 77 on there if you wanted instead. I actually have it down here.
I think I have the.
Oh, it's super dusty. Yeah,
I think I have the 1 year after. I could have put the 44 63 on it.
Yeah, I love how they have the blue tire. they they shipped this Lego with the blue tire. Man, this thing is dusty. I should probably dust in here. Ian's going to town on the Killians, it looks like. I haven't had a Killians in a long time.
Billions Irish Red. It's actually not bad beer.
I when I was over at Mark Vickers' barbecue for the Daytona 500, he had Bush Light. I'm like, you know what? I don't think I've ever had Bush Light.
You haven't had Bush Light. Are you?
Whoa! He's okay. Almost lost another rookie. Touched grass. Big runoff here. Yeah, lucky for him. As the Mercedes mechanics sit there looking not amused.
Yeah, I feel like Mercedes is not going to be able to try to contend for constructors this year.
No, I wouldn't think so.
It's going to be between McLaren and Ferrari. Which team gets in their own way the least?
Well, I mean, McLaren at least won it last year, so we know they can get out of their way long enough.
Whoops.
Oops. Yeah, oops indeed. Get late to the team orders. Let him pass, Lando. Should you imagine if that happened? I mean, I doubt it will, but team orders let Oscar win his home race.
Yeah, that would make for a interesting.
Oh man.
I just locked up the rears. They did a good job of keeping it on track.
You could see him just sliding. Oof. All right, so we finished the first round. Got to go to the water for a little bit.
Hamilton, safety car infringement.
Noted. That's a little delayed.
That took a while to figure out.
Oops.
Albon had a infringement as well.
What's that? 3 drivers now have had an infringement?
Yeah, I think so. You would think if we're doing this, we would make notes as we go to refer back to things, but we're not professionals. We just act like it.
Speak for yourself. We are what we are. We've got the battle for 15th.
So Max is wanting to pit.
And they're telling him, please don't.
We will lose positions.
Interesting
really.
change this year with the no point for the fastest lap. Prevent the last lap tire change.
Yeah, they weren't happy when who was it? Ricardo did that.
Yeah. Yes.
There's no point manipulation in that.
No further action on Alonso's safety car infringement investigation. Oh, and Liam finally gets by the two Haas.
You're in a Red Bull and it took you that long.
Who do you think gets loses their seat first?
I think it's either going to be Hadjar or Duane.
I mean, we heard the rumor that Doohan's only has 6 races to prove himself. And, yeah, don't they have Colapinto there standing by as the reserve driver?
I believe so.
Do they really? For as great of a start as he had, his last handful of races were bad.
He had what, that one good race, and then he wrecked a whole
Every
heap of
race
race
after that,
cars.
basically. Oh, Yuki had a safety car infringement investigation.
You know, as much grief as I give Formula One about the actual on-track racing, at least we don't have to hear, and we're going to go side by side.
I mean, Fox initially was going to try to bid on the Formula One contract, and did like the price tag. Ooh. I mean, they still have NASCAR. They still have, well, and they spent all that money on IndyCar.
And apparently they have NHRA, which Bob Tasca took exception
Yeah,
to.
he was not happy.
So here's where I'm at so far on the car.
Yeah.
It's coming along.
You got 35, 36 laps.
Yeah, we'll see if I actually finish it by the end of it. I probably will.
So we announced to the Wednesday Night Dash drivers we're going to be piloting a half season of caution racing, or caution, introducing cautions not just for the super speedways, but we're going to try on a couple of the tracks. And one of the reasons we didn't in the first place is because we had early on we had a lot of incidents, and we would not have been able to get, we would there have been a lot of caution laps. And granted, we have a much larger field now with quite a variety of skill level, but I mean, I think we're at a point where we can get away with it and not either turn it into a 45-minute caution fest. And yeah, we're going to the beer. Got the Montucky cold snacks. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited to see how all that goes. I think it can add some really fun dynamics. And
if we stay green, we could have green flag pit stops determining how, determining the races.
well, and even just getting fuel savings in there, or have a weirdly timed caution of somebody going to try and take advantage of it.
So, I mean, our races are long. Hamilton's having problems. Lost gear sync. Ferrari. Never stop Ferrarying. I mean, you look at some of these tracks, like, you go to the smaller ones like IRP or Bristol. There's enough fuel to get you to the end, but your tires will not last. You'll be a mess if you try to go a full 90 laps or 100 laps, whatever it ends up being, or whatever it was. They did not introduce a Lime Rock Park setup, by the way, in the Truck Series.
Hopefully, by the time we need it, we'll be able to get it.
Let's see.
I think I was using Watkins Glen actually
I
when
used
I
to,
was
I used Sonoma for mine.
going out and testing.
All right, so we're gonna look up the crack. So nothing from majors.
No, it is actually really nice to see 8 teams in the top 10.
Yeah, that is different.
Because we're just so used to seeing the same 3 teams taking up the top 6 and then the same 2 teams taking up those next 2 spots. Or I guess 4 spots.
Have you done much with the ARCA car since the Charlotte race?
I raced the Kansas in the shakedown. I did take it out to Bristol. That was actually a lot of fun around there.
I did a test session at Irwindale. And I was looking at Garage 61, and some guy managed like a 17 flat in the ARCA car. And I'm just like, how, and I pull up the trends. He kept 100% throttle the whole way around the track. And would like jam on, and he ran the high line and he'd like jam on the brake while
that may be one of the best radio commentaries I've seen. Is there a leakage? With no context, that is an epically awesome quote.
Yeah, so this guy, he went full throttle around Irwindale. And he'd go to like 60-70% brake through the turns while staying 100% on throttle and managed like a 17.02 or something crazy like that.
I guess for a qualifying lap, why not?
I want to know if he managed to keep that clean is my question. But I started working the higher line and I got to like a 17.8 after a handful of laps. I'm like, it's not bad. I think I bounced.
You're not implying that. You're not implying that we're gonna
No.
put Irwindale on the schedule.
No, I'm not. I needed a shorter track to test on, and I we've been there before with ARCA cars, so I at least had something to reference. I just wanted to see what it looked like old versus new and how much different it was. So no, there was no hints. There's nothing like that. It was just because we've been there before. VRS.
And we're in just about the parade phase of Formula One.
Yeah, this has been. I mean, outside of Max locking up, not really much has changed. Liam got by the other Haas, and the Formula One haters are laughing at this, I'm sure.
Last rain race at Brazil was overall a really great
It
race.
was. It really was.
This is kind of the opposite.
Yeah. I did like Max's reaction in the press conference where they asked him about a wet race. He's like, yeah, take that into consideration. And they cut over, you see like Lando and Oscar just like trying to hide their faces as they're laughing. Somebody's going for some clickbait on social media because they did a pre-season press conference and Lando and Max were in there together, and yeah, everyone who's familiar with the sport knows they're pretty close. And Max said something to the extent of like, "I can't stand this guy anymore. He's just too much," and he's very clearly being sarcastic with how he's saying it. But some social media clickbait person's like, Max can't stand Lando anymore, and is just like, no, just stop. Don't
If
do it.
you knew what you were talking about,
Don't. No, they knew what they were talking about. It was just a lame attempt at clicks. Good lord.
might need to ease up on the sauce already. It'd be really fun to have been sitting from qualifying yesterday to the race today with Checo.
I wonder what he's up to. Any chance you think that Cadillac picks him?
I could see him at least talking.
I'm sure he's already had conversations, or his people have had conversations.
If he wants to race in Formula One, I'm sure his people have already reached out to Cadillac saying, hey, I want to talk to him at least.
I mean, given the options out there, you can't really like that's pretty good. Like you're not gonna get a top tier driver. Whoa.
You could almost call it a meme, and I'm sure they're trying for clickbait or whatever. But it's just funny on social media. Cadillac looking to talk to Nicholas Latifi and Mazepan.
Oh god. Actually, I think they did lift his like restriction. I mean, I
Then
don't
in the
think he has.
comments, somebody's like, Logan Sargent, reserve driver,
Ugh,
best team ever.
oh god. Latifi actually resurfaced not that long ago, and he basically said like he went back to school, and he's getting a master's degree. I think is what he said. He went back to college, and he wants to go into business for himself. I'm like, good for you. I mean, he's like, I've stepped away from racing. This is something I've wanted to do, and I'm doing it. Like, good for you.
Ollie Behrman getting lapped.
He's just like, I don't want my gearbox to fail on me again.
He's actually just cruising around in third gear.
I mean, he's still like 3 seconds off the pace. He's only been on this set of tires for 8 laps, too. Lando's Lando's been on that same set for 24 laps.
Coming up to Ocon, who's going to somehow get a 5-second penalty.
Rex, the leader.
Takes out both the McLarens.
Nope. They just cruised on by.
If you don't necessarily follow Formula One and you look at comments, you will almost see inevitably every single comment
5
or
second.
every Formula One post will have a comment of 5 second penalty for Ocon. How hard are these two going to race each other?
I don't know.
They're gonna duke it out, or are they gonna just play the smart game and get it to the end, and then fight on like the last lap?
Oh, and then they wreck each other. That's the worst. You always see that when you have you cut to like the team owner or the team principal, and you have your two drivers like battling for the lead late, and you could just see like Joe Gibbs last week at Phoenix with Christopher Bell and Denny Hamlin fighting it out for the win, and you could just see the look on Coach Gibbs' face, just like please do not wreck each other, please do not destroy.
Do not take each other out. Ooh, could you go to slick tires yet? Some of that track looks really wet.
It still looks pretty wet, yeah.
The only hard part about doing this is I don't get to turn up the TV commentary as much. We don't want to get any violations of you guys are broadcasting a race.
Yeah. I wonder if it would get upset on audio versus video.
I know people that have had stuff shut down because they had TV on in the background and it got picked up.
Wow, that sucks. I guess
watching like trading card breaks, there'd be a TV or a game on in the background.
Yeah,
you're violating.
That would be the worst. You get copyright.
Sorry, we're back.
Oh
we
man,
had the TV on in the background.
Oh, that would be brutal. We got our TikTok store set up, by the way. I think, as far as I can tell, it's set up.
We'll do some testing. We'll get some stuff added in there, so check things out.
Yeah, we got a fun one coming up, I think. It's just like we've reached that period where it's like, oh, we're old. We need to look it over. All right, so what do we got on our schedule this week?
We are going to Chicagoland for Indy Racing World Series. It's been a pretty fun race in the past times that we've been there.
Even in real life, IndyCar at Chicago has always been a lot of fun. This is some great battles.
Whoopsie.
I hope they get back there someday because I mean the track still.
And what? 3 of the closest finishes in IndyCar history have come on track there.
Yes.
Yeah, great track. It's a shame nobody's racing there now.
Yeah, they had some. I think a MotoGP, not MotoGP. What the heck was that called? Something with motorcycles. I don't follow it. I'm not. But they had some event set up where it was like the first on track because they were actually rumored to be suffering a similar fate to Auto Club, where they were going to sell off land near the property to like warehouses and industrial complexes, and I mean they may have, but it didn't impact the track.
You know, if I had unlimited amounts of money, I'd get 19 more sets and have 2 of each.
I thought you were going to say buy Chicagoland Speedway.
Oh, I'd do that too if I had.
I've driven on that track in real life at 160-ish miles an hour.
That is one thing I want to do at some point. I want to go out in a car.
It's so surreal when you're driving that fast. And at 160 miles an hour, you can... in an old Indy car, you can full throttle the whole way through. And they put like the markers down on the track, and you just basically have to center your car through those markers and just basically follow the line. And it was pretty easy. You're out there and you're driving 160 miles an hour around Chicagoland Speedway, and you get out of the car and you're just kind of like, that didn't feel like it was that fast. And then you get out of the car and you're just like, whoa. And then you get in your personal vehicle.
Oh, who's that? Fernando. We're gonna go under a safety car, I
We got
bet.
a safety car.
Oh yeah, that's the safety
Yeah,
car.
there's a bunch of debris.
He's not driving away.
Is it me, or does he look in the intro video this year? Doesn't he look like an old man?
He is like the old man
I
on
mean,
circuit.
he's the old man, but I mean, he's only like what, 46 or something like that. I don't know, but he looks old in that video. 43.
The third rookie DNF.
Old man DNF. He's at the points too. Hey, Kimi Antonelli has moved into 10th because of that.
There's the safety car and pit stops. Is it really that much of a flex to say that you're in the points, but the cars that you're ahead of are Stroll, Hulkenberg, Bortoletto, Lawson, Ocon, and Behrman?
And 4 DNFs. Did you notice something too? Rolex left after last season?
Yeah.
So all the Rolex signs now say Tag Heuer, which Tag Heuer is a wonderful brand, don't get me wrong.
Just don't run into the back of the kick.
Yeah, not a lot of news on Chicagoland Speedway.
The double stack.
Oh, here it comes.
I think that's one of my favorite things with Formula One is watching them double stack their pit stops.
If they get it right.
When it's done right, it is so smooth. He's on yellows.
Ooh.
I watched the other pit stops, but I didn't pay attention to the tires. Let's see what's going on here.
Yeah, I looked up Chicagoland Speedway, and one of the last stories about it was
whites.
June of last year was Ryan Blaney thinks NASCAR should return to Chicagoland Speedway.
It's like a mix of yellow and whites. Yep.
The Haas are the only one that haven't changed.
Erik is so dumb. He's saying they're yellows and whites. Call them the right one. Mediums, hards. Get your terminology right.
Hard, medium, hard. Yes, this will be interesting.
So stuff going on.
Yes, Eric Mattingly said that as much as he doesn't like Merc, their double stack was absolute magic. It was. That was legendary.
It'd be fun to have to watch NASCAR teams do that.
Oh. Is that still Alonso, or did Lance wreck too?
That should be Alonso.
They haven't moved him yet?
he in a bad spot where they just can't get stuff out quickly? It's a good hit backing into the wall like that.
Yeah, that's still him.
The cars are wobbling on that turn right there.
There's been a lot of close calls through there.
It'd be fun to see the price tag on damages after this weekend.
Hey, look at that. We're getting some Twitch followers.
Well, the safety car time is going to let me get this thing finished.
Yeah, we haven't streamed any racing in many months. This is the first time we've gone live on probably since like August, maybe? When did you move up there?
It was what, middle of August,
Yeah, I think
March.
that was around the time I think we did our last live stream of any kind on this channel. Oops.
Hey, finally, there's a marshal at the car.
Just one. Literally just one. This season or this weekend has been all about rain. Although the Xfinity race was pretty clean today. That was good.
I did not get to watch any of that.
I saw the end. It was, I mean, I think I caught like the last 30 laps or so. It was pretty uneventful. Um, truck race though, that was something. I think it was hilarious. So the broadcast for the truck race, they had Joey Logano and Brad Keselowski in the booth, and during the red flag, they were like messing around with the telestrator, and like, yeah, it's like every time. This is like what we do every time it goes to commercial. We just start pushing buttons and see what happens. And so like they cut over to some people sitting around a campfire, and Brad, I think it was Brad, hit a button and it turned into this like giant yellow ray that came out came out of the campfire flames. He's like, if only those people could see what we're doing right now.
They need to do more of that. It's fun when they go up in the booth.
Next, I think they said next week is the for the truck race is the all driver broadcast. So I think they said it's going to be Harvick, Joey, and Brad in the booth, but they haven't said anything about like pit reporters or anything like that. But
Perfect doesn't count. He's not a driver.
well, he was a driver, not anymore. I guess yeah. Technically, you're right. He's not anymore.
Lies. But fitting for NASCAR right now.
The pit reporter will be like Trevor Bayne.
wonder if it's actually us that is like bad luck for Formula One in Australia.
Yeah, because we did that stream a couple years ago where they had that crazy
The
red flag. Well, they had like the two red
double red
flag. Yeah, and
flags
then that one
and
on the restart at the end. And then last year, wasn't it? Was it Australia where Max's car caught on fire?
might have been
The years are
actually.
blurring together. There was one race where we did a live stream where Max's car caught on fire. We made some reference to it. He had like a win streak going, and I said like, is this the week he finally gets his win streak snapped and then his car caught on fire, or like it was like the brake rotor or something broke and caught on fire. That was last year. Thank you, Eric Battingley. Getting fact checked in real time. The years they all blur together.
What his first DNF in
Yeah, it was a
long time.
Did you see Vegas dropped pricing on tickets?
As they needed to.
Yeah. I am now contemplating. That's because we're old. You are correct. You are absolutely correct. We are old. 8 years, or almost 8 years old, is old enough to take your kids to Vegas, isn't it? I mean, the tickets are getting cheaper. The race starts 2 hours earlier than it did previously. I think it's 2 hours earlier. You take almost 8-year-olds to Vegas. Actually, somebody I know went to the race last year. They booked early enough and they stayed at the Signature at the MGM Grand, which I love that hotel. That is like my place to stay when I go to Vegas. And so the Signature it's these three towers that sit out kind of next to the pool area at MGM Grand. And they're originally built to be like condos, I think, or timeshares. But yeah, it was built during the economic collapse of 2008, and so they turned it into a hotel. So they have like these studio suites and one bedroom suites, and they have like a kitchenette in there, super nice bathroom and balconies, and so you can get a balcony room that overlooks part of the. If you're looking strip side, it looks over part of the track because they turn right at Planet Hollywood. What's that, Harmon? I think maybe. But if you get a strip side room and you're high enough, you can see the track from your hotel room. Then you don't need to buy tickets. You can just watch from your balcony.
Yeah, even better.
But the thing is, like, if you want to go to the MGM Grand, you just go down to the lobby, and then there's a connected like tunnel that you could take, and it takes you into the back of the MGM Grand where the food court is and the pools. So they have their own private pools on the Signature, but you can also use the full MGM Grand pool complex if you want. So it's like you're close enough to the action of the full MGM Grand, but it's like if you want to go back and sleep in your hotel and it be relatively quiet and have a kitchenette at a somewhat reasonable price, you can do that too. Yeah, it is Harmon. Man, brain still works. Awesome. But if you're actually looking out the back of the Signature, you can actually see the paddock. It's like right there. Maybe I'll do that.
Wouldn't be a bad way to go about
No, I
things.
wouldn't. I mean, I would pay, even if you paid a premium for that room. Yeah, the fun thing too with like the Signature, and I stayed there. I went to Vegas with my parents like, I don't know, probably about 15 years ago now, and we stayed there, So we had a strip side room with a balcony, and like the one night we called it a night, and we just had a pizza delivered, and we just sat on the balcony and ate pizza, and just like you're just overlooking the strip at night. That was awesome.
I've been twice. I've stayed at the New York, and also the Treasure Island.
I was like
Next time I go, I really want to stay at Cosmo.
the Cosmopolitan. I was like a Vegas connoisseur at one point until like I had kids. So the last time I went to Las Vegas was 27. No, yeah, 2017. And I just stayed at the regular MGM Grand. I went for work. So we had a show at Mandalay Bay. And that was the first time I ever stayed at like the regular MGM Grand part of it. But I used to go with a friend of mine. We would go every summer, and we'd stay at like Bally's, which is now Horseshoe, I think, but it was Bally's back then. And we stayed at Harrah's, and we'd get the room. We'd go in July, and so we'd stay for like it would be like $58 a night, and we'd split it two ways.
That's dirt cheap.
Yeah, so you'd stay $58 a night on the strip, and then we just like walk across the street, and we'd go to the sports book in Caesars. Have you ever been to the sports book in Caesars?
Yeah.
Yeah, they have the round room with all the tables and stuff, and
Yeah, it really doesn't matter where you stay. You just get a room
right,
and you walk
yeah,
everywhere.
exactly. But Bellagio was great because they had like the recliners. But then Caesars was great because you had the tables, and you go out to the Caesars Mall, and they had that the Arturo Fuente cigar shop. I actually have an Arturo Fuente shot glass, and so we'd go buy a bunch of cigars. And
We're about to go back green,
finally,
finally.
finally, yeah. So we go to Arturo Fuente and get a bunch of cigars, and we come back, and we're sitting around the table and looking at what we're gonna bet on next. And so we go up and place the order. And my friend's like, "Look over your shoulder." I look over and I go, "Oh my god, that's
Ollie
Pete Rose,
Behrman got the wave around.
the lucky dog." Oops, wrong series.
Lawson, Bortoletto, unsafe release.
But yeah, I haven't been to Vegas in years. I'm trying to think. Where have I stayed? I've stayed at Paris, or it was Paris. It's now Park MGM. Stayed at Planet. The first time I went, I stayed at Planet Hollywood, which was awesome. I had a like 40th floor strip side room, which was really cool. Yeah, I did Bally's once, Harrah's, Signature multiple times.
We're back racing. Nope, nope. Kind of false start.
There were a few years ago we talked about renting an RV.
Because everything was ridiculously priced.
Yeah, you go out to like the state line between Arizona and Nevada, and they were charging $1,000 a night for Motel 6 because everyone thought, oh, everyone's gonna want to come out here and come to this race, and nobody did.
Everybody wanted to until they saw what the ticket prices were going to be.
Yes, indeed.
So will 16 lap mediums or 16 lap hards?
Bump draft. Erik says Max should give Piastri the bump draft to win. Win at home.
Rain expected in 3 laps to be heavy to last for 2 minutes or 2 laps. Oh, those are some dark clouds.
Rain in the next 4 minutes.
Oh, that would be crazy to watch a heavy rain. Do you stay on the slicks? Do you go and change?
Should have made some popcorn.
Nobody's on the intermediates. Been crazy if somebody had stayed on intermediates to chance the rain and try to keep them cool as long as possible.
The home fans are like, "Come on, Oscar." Did you see that video that like Oscar Piastri's sister posted the other week?
I have not seen it.
So she is a college student in Australia, and she posted a video of her walk from her campus back to her apartment. And in this video, it's like time lapsed, basically sped up and short, or like 15-minute walk or whatever, shortened down to like 2 minutes in this video. And it just shows how many pictures of her brother she sees on her walk from class back to home. It's like, oh, there's one here. Oh, there's one in this storefront. Oh, there's a billboard with him.
That's funny. He's doing a great job.
He really is. Like,
questionable there at the very beginning, but that was definitely the car.
we were talking a few years ago, like, would he even make it through his first season? And then it just clicked.
Here comes the rain.
Alex Albon's been hanging out in 7th. Haven't said much about him.
And Sonoda's hanging up there too still.
He's in 5th.
5-second time penalty for Bortoletto.
Bortoletto.
I was going to laugh if it was Ocon. So the rain is starting to fall.
Here it comes.
Sonoda is under attack heavily. Two or three lockups right there.
You see that dry patch and it just soaked everywhere else.
Yeah, Yuki probably should have been in that seat, but I'm sure there were a lot of politics.
Oh, it was totally.
Yeah, he is going to drive this season just angry.
Oh yeah, I still believe that.
Oh, both McLarens went off. Oh, this is going to be wild. Oh, there goes Piastri. No, Norris. Who is going on?
Oh dear Lord.
So this track is wet. These cars have zero grip right now.
Oh, he's stuck. They cut away just as the F-bomb was about to be dropped. I think that might have been... Was that Oscar's mom?
So cars just jumped into the pit to get onto the intermediates. Some are staying out. Piastri's stuck. Verstappen's coming in. Piastri can't move.
Yeah, he is stuck. Oh, that's brutal.
He's trying to reverse out.
Albon is already on the intermediates. Oh, he might make it. He might make it.
He's moving.
Oh, there he goes. He's on the track. Wow. All right, at least we got some drama.
Oh, and that was right before pit road, too.
Good timing for that. Oh, oh! I thought he was going to hit the wall there. It looked like he was going to hit the wall.
Verstappen is staying out.
That's... Stay out!
He's got a 9-second gap on Hamilton.
Question is...
This rain's only going to last for a couple minutes.
So Piastri has fallen to 15th. Man, this was like, we were just about to pack it in, call it a night.
And a lap down.
Wait a second. Well, that's brutal. Well, this changes everything. And Pierre Gasly's in third. Wow. Well, this changed everything.
Man, now I want to see Sonoda get past Gasly.
Ooh.
Oh,
Stay out.
Max is like, no.
I mean, he's like
Oh.
struggling. Yeah, now he's like, nope, I'm coming. Whoa! Almost got himself sideways. So the question is,
Norris is back up. The Ferraris are on the hard tires still. It is.
I don't.
Why are you
I just.
yellow flagged out?
I think one of the kicks isn't moving.
Bortoletto's not moving.
It.
Lawson has backed it in.
Oh!
Oh man.
I was just like, this was really dull, but guess what?
Safety car.
Oh yeah. I mean, I don't. Jeez.
Another rookie. Lawson is not going to move. He's done.
Kimi Antonelli is an eighth.
And we just need rain to hit mid race and see who pits and who doesn't.
All right, so this got interesting.
So Ferrari must have pit. Norris is back in P1.
Yikes. All right. So we got the safety car for a couple minutes. We're going to put up the. We'll be back in a couple minutes and. Quick bathroom break before the finish. So we'll be back here in a couple minutes. All right, we are back for the. Hopefully, the end of this mess. Ooh.
Kind of a bland race turned into a giant mess. And it is a destroyed race car there by Bortoletto.
Yeah, you see the track officials are like, "Oh, I'm stepping back."
Lawson just lost it. I'm sure there's a driver going, I can do that.
I still am standing by my statement that if Red Bull wasn't leaving Honda for Ford next year, Yuki would have gotten the seat. I still stand behind that statement. Yuki is like Honda's like golden child.
If things keep going like the way this weekend has for a couple more, do you think he gets promoted?
I don't know. That's a good question. It's like it's one thing to sack a driver, bring somebody in from the outside.
Oh, the meme that just went up in Discord.
Oh, I gotta look.
It's so true.
The best one was there was that race where these guys dressed up in Ferrari gear and they all were wearing like clown makeup and wigs. Showed up to the
Yeah,
racetrack.
what just went in our chat is the basically the pit crew or the people in the
The
box
Ferrari wall.
for Ferrari, and they're dressed as clowns.
Come on, we need Alex Albon on the podium.
Albon, Leclerc,
What?
or not Leclerc,
I looked this up.
Tsunoda, somebody
Or
like
yeah,
that. Get
Yuki
on
on the podium or Albon on the podium. We gotta get one of them on the podium. The two, I looked. I think the last Williams podium was like 2014. It's been a while. Or I lied. It was George Russell. I forgot.
Oh,
Maybe it's their last
filled
win
in.
was 2014.
That's the race he filled in for somebody, wasn't it?
It was red flagged. They podiumed in 27. No, he was that. Yeah, there was one race he filled in for Lewis after I think Lewis had COVID. Maybe it was 2014 was their last win. God, I'm old. Continued decline.
So this is what, safety car number 3, and we're down to 7 laps to go.
"2012 was their last win. Pastor Maldonado.
That's a name you don't hear.
No. All right. Albon fourth, Antonelli fifth.
Antonelli has just gotten lucky.
Yeah. Hey, but you know what? Sometimes it's better to be lucky than good.
Yeah. Like they were saying pre-race, you got to find a way to get to the finish to even have a chance to win.
Let's see.
Ooh, good question. Driver of the day.
Lando?
Yeah, I don't know who you'd really put in. I'd actually vote Sonoda.
Liam doing his celebratory burnouts there. He made it this far up. Just kidding. That you got a Williams, you got two Mercedes in the top five, safety car ending. Out, 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 out. Antonelli is 4 seconds back.
I'm getting closer on this thing.
What do we got?
Coming along. Oh, let's see. Going green on lap 52.
Lance Stroll in 6th. Just let's just think
People are
about
going to look
this.
at the finish results here and be like, what happened here?
Let's just think about this. Lance Stroll has a podium finish in Formula One. Nico Hulkenberg, 0. All right, here we go. Lando versus Max and everyone else.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Do we see another caution before this thing ends?
Probably not. Looks like the rain's. The rain stopped again.
It's going to be a shame if this holds. Sonoda ends up out of the points because they didn't pit him. And now you have sunshine.
I was about to say, first 75% of this thing was super boring.
Just need a little bit of rain mid-race.
They had it stop, change back to the slicks, and then it started raining again. I gotta give a 5-second penalty to like George Russell. Gotta get Albon onto the podium. Nico's in the points.
They would outscore their point total from last year if this holds.
Such a low bar.
It was 0 last year, wasn't
No,
it? Or did they sneak a point in there somewhere?
they had 1 points finish, like right at the end of the season. Oh boy. Oh, here comes Kimmy.
Maybe? Yeah, they got around. Gostry's trying to get back in the points.
I get something out of this. I think he's got enough time.
Backed out of that.
DRS enabled. This will be fun.
Louis Vuitton has sponsorship all over the place.
This thing. 12 months ago, would you thought of late in a race a Williams battling the second Mercedes car for a fourth place finish?
No.
All right, yeah. Oscar is back into the points. Oh, man. Oh.
3 of the 5 rookies are out.
Gasly mowing some lawn there.
I think the best car lawn mowing still is Tony Kanaan at the 500.
Classic. Two to go. He's inside a DR. Yeah, you got DRS. Can you imagine Max passing Lando on like the last lap?
Oh, that would be something.
Oh man. All right, at least got interesting towards the end.
He's there.
Can you get around him?
Antonelli incident, unsafe release.
Uh-oh.
That could move him down 2 spots. Final lap.
They always have that yellow like invest. I'm assuming that's what it is, an investigation tag next to the name.
That's new for this
That's
year.
what I thought. I'm like, I don't remember seeing that before. Unless Lando absolutely eats it, which he could.
Antonelli, 5-second penalty.
That's brutal. I mean, right now he's clear of Stroll, so he just loses a spot.
It's going to be Norris.
So can he stay 5 seconds ahead of Stroll? He's currently...
He should be good. He's 7 seconds up.
Yep. Albon moves ahead of him because of the 5-second penalty. Stroll 6th.
Hulk 7th. Ferrari's 8 and 10.
Piastri back into the points.
Tsunoda, unfortunately, in 12th, and Haas bringing up the rear.
Hey, they finished.
Yeah.
Ian's pumped up. All right, well, that was something.
Yeah, that was a wild finish.
It's funny, Lando, the man who couldn't win races, then all of a sudden finally snaps it. Now all of a sudden it's like, hey, this guy's going to be the next driver champion.
It was looking good, then it was going haywire.
Antonelli 5th, Stroll 6th, Hulkenberg 7th.
Yeah, what is up with all that?
Albon 4th. See, the best part is if you have F1 TV, switch over to the driver cam and listen to Albon talking to his team after the race. When he has a good race, he gets like so pumped up. And it's just the funniest thing. He's like, yes, guys, yes, yes.
Well, at least Williams has something positive that they don't have to fix 2 cars.
Only 1 car to fix and a 4th place finish. That's pretty darn good.
So is that a good day for Williams?
I'd say that's a good day for Williams. I mean, the standard is very, very low compared to how the last several years have been. Lando. So what do we got? Oh. George and Max on the podium together. That'll be fun.
Will they talk in the cooldown room?
They're still feuding, I have to assume.
You would think.
I feel like of the drivers in the field, those two would be the ones to like hold a grudge forever.
Norris, driver of the day.
So what's next on the schedule?
Good question. I've looked at the schedule, but I don't have it memorized.
I don't either. We got NASCAR Las Vegas to it'll be this morning. Let's see. China's next week. Oh. China, the China race starts at 3 a.m. your time.
Possibly could be awake. Still awake.
Yep, so they're going to go to China, and then a couple weeks after that, go to Japan. Another late start. That's 1 a.m. your time.
All those races are hard, especially being East Coast.
Yep, and then you hit Bahrain and Saudi Arabia after that. Then you go to Miami. Then the first trip to Italy. Then you go to Monaco, Spain, Canada, Austria, Britain, Belgium, Hungary, Netherlands, Italy, Azerbaijan, Singapore. It's like at least they're like grouping them together now. That
Yeah, much better than their
that video last year with that
original.
guy or making fun of their travel schedule. It's like the net zero 2030, and then they're doing this as your travel schedule.
Well, you know, I made some progress on it. It's coming along.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
down to the last two little bags of
parts. That's not
parts.
bad. Where'd you pick that up? Target?
Got it at Meyer.
Meyer. Oh, I miss Meyer. I miss having a Meyer.
Yeah, we'll save the bags 5 and 6. It is 2 o'clock my time.
That's that's the Speed Champions you got.
What's that?
The Speed Champions series. Is that
Um, yeah, whatever the F1.
Oh yeah. What should I do?
Yeah,
I
the
should
speed
I
champs.
should do something. Should I do a Williams?
It's easy to find Alpine, Haas, and Williams right now. Max again taking a very terrible car and driving it to a podium.
Yeah. Yeah.
But since he does so well, it's not the car, it's the driver.
Yeah. I think it says more about the driver than it does the car. Man is gifted. I think I'm going to get the Williams. Because why not?
The only thing on, at least on this series, you can't put a number on it.
Ooh, if I order within 51 minutes, I can get it tomorrow. I'm going to get. This shows up tomorrow, and the box opens up and sees a Lego in there. I'm going to get just so much heat for that. Yeah, yeah. All right. Got my Williams Lego on the way. Oh man, I'm still reading Paul Page's book. At 1973 Indy 500. I mean I've heard about it, but I never really like got the grisly details. That might have been one of the deadliest 500s ever. There were 3 deaths in the month of May. Uh, driver severely burnt, like third-degree burns on like 40% of his body. He had an amputation. He had numerous fans get burnt from a first lap crash in the front row. Crew member injured. You know, it was. And then on top of that, it rained so much that they've had to finish the race on Wednesday.
Oh.
And then they only got in 130 laps out of the 200.
Yeah, hopefully this year's not rain delayed and we should get a nice day.
That Yeah, they talked about the changes they had to make after the fact, and do you know the wall on the front stretch used to be only 36 inches?
Oh,
It was until the
you know,
mid 70s, and then they made it 54.
it's fun to look at old pictures of races and just see how much it's changed.
It's just like wasn't a catch fence. It was like a baseball game. I mean, granted, the cars weren't going anywhere close to the speeds they do now, but still, it you think about it, it's pretty wild how like deadly auto racing was between like the 1950s and the 19 early 80s.
It was pretty brutal.
It just the safety could not keep up with the speed innovations, and they said after the 73 race, Indy's their whole thing in Indy was get faster and faster and faster and faster, and that was the first year in the history of that race where they said like slow it down, guys, like we need to slow it down just a little bit.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see this year, because this will be the first time with the hybrid power unit.
Oh yeah, hopefully Kyle Larson gets to race again.
Yeah, hopefully the weather cooperates and he gets to give it a
Kyle
second
Larson
go.
forever. My kid meeting Kyle Larson finally and then not realizing it was him.
Oh, that's great.
Why do you think he said nice hat and shirt?
Well, unfortunately for us East Coasters, I should probably think about winding
Yeah,
this thing down.
let's wrap it. I think we're good here. We've been on the air for 2 hours and 1 minute.
I'm sure I'll get yelled at, but that's okay.
I mean, like, it's to the point where us getting yelled at by our wives is like given. Or just like, oh, are you gonna go record something with Erik again? Roll the eyes, annoyance. Like, I'm sure your wife probably does the same thing. It's like, oh look, you guys are talking again. What now? All right, so appreciate everybody. Oh, that's right. We don't get team radio anymore because oh no, they said some potty words.
He said a naughty word.
Oh,
I'm gonna
no.
find them, and if I feel like it, I'm going to suspend them and ban them.
What a clown. Needs to go
But
away.
and you got Susie Wolf going up against him, but at this point, I almost say get him voted out. Really, you're gonna worry about the language of adults in auto racing?
And in high pressure, high intensity situations.
Apparently, he's never watched NASCAR.
Yeah, apparently not. Well, I mean, it's probably one of those NASCAR, you bunch of American hillbillies.
I'm too good to watch NASCAR. We need to make right-hand turns
and use our brake. All right, so 2 hour plus stream, our first stream in many months. So appreciate everybody tuning in tonight. Appreciate Erik and Garrett jumping in on the chat and everyone in our Discord hanging out with us this evening. So we will be back Tuesday night on Stadium Scene TV for our what do you call it, the Windy City 150.
Yep, from Chicagoland.
The FR Racing Garage Talk 120 from Auto Club on Wednesday night. And the reason it's called that is because the last time we were at Auto Club, that's what the race was called. So I just left the graphic the same so I didn't have to make a new graphic.
Yeah, it should be two really solid races. Should be some pretty close racing.
Yeah, that's should be a lot better than New Hampshire. I don't think it could get much worse.
New Hampshire caused me to rethink how I do a schedule.
Yeah, that sucked. I'm just like, I'm wrecking on lap 4. I'm like, all right, this is not going to go well. And it didn't go well for anyone. So, all right. So, FR Racing Online, FR Racing Online on social media. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. And we thank you all for tuning in. And we'll see you for our racing this week in an all new episode of FR Racing's Garage Talk on Friday. Take care.
Yeah, thanks for tuning in. We'll see you soon.